no technical stuff in it, the audience will get bored. So we thought we'll add some technical stuff to it as well. So today we have Google Home and Alexa here. So we'll be demoing both of them, but we'll be mostly talking about Alexa because whatever we have worked is mainly on Alexa. So that's what it is. Let's get started. Let's have some fun with Alexa. Hey Alexa, open GeekNight. Alexa, open GeekNight.
Hi there. Goodbye.
Okay, that's what it does actually. So these devices are not what we think today, but they're trying to evolve. And this is something that we even thought to test as well. So our first initial idea is we both were in Pune and then we thought, okay, voice as an interface is entering into the world. So how do we test it as a quality interface? That was our first idea. So we started writing some skills over it, and then we wanted to do some testing on top of it. That's how it started. So let's try again. Hey Alexa, open GeekNight.
Hi there.
Say welcome to our participants.
Welcome to GeekNight and thanks for joining us. This is an open forum for geeks to connect, discuss, and learn latest ideas, technologies, and trends in software development.
What is the agenda today?
The talk is about evolution of interactions. We talk about how voice has our input changing the way, how Amazon Alexa, Google Home, Microsoft Cortana, Apple Siri are playing a part towards a world where your voice commands are going to change the way we talk to machines and a few demos. GeekNight is a monthly event to promote sharing of technical knowledge and increase collaboration among geeks across locations Bangalore, Pune, Gurgaon, Chennai and Hyderabad. It is organized by a passionate group of programmers and sponsored by ThoughtWorks. It happens on the first Wednesday of every month, unless that's a public holiday or any other unavoidable cause, like an alien invasion.
Can you introduce the speakers?
My pleasure. Today we have Nalinikanth, also known as Nal, and Prasad to talk about the evolution of voice, the future of interactions. Both of them are QAs working at ThoughtWorks. Their journey with voice started when they started playing with Amazon Alexa in their house in Pune. Out of curiosity, they then moved and tried out Google Home as well. Apart from work, they talk about random tech stuff at various events. If they are free, they would like people can talk about all random Telugu movie stuff. Not just them, we also have Alexa and Google to assist them today.
Thanks.
You are welcome. Goodbye.
So to get Alexa or this particular skill to this state is itself a big task for us. It is something that is not as easy as what we think or what they does. So let's go into the talk and see how we can build that. So there's only one ground rule that we want. So if you have a question, do ask. We'll pause for questions and then take questions as well. And what do you expect out of this session?
You can actually use any version of Alexa for development. So it's directly it's already in the market, right? So yes, right. So you can actually test it when not to. If you are using the same mail ID when you use the Alexa account, you can directly talk to the state. You can actually test it before it goes online.
Yeah, we'll get into the details like how do we do it, what kind of environments do we use, and how do you actually build a skill, push it, all the stuff. We have it for the second half. Can we take that question there or? Currently, we are using the developer version, so we don't want to push this skill at least to Alexa because of its supplement. We just did it as an introductory skill for people. So yeah, we didn't push. I mean, we pushed it, but not. So, what are the expectations? No expectations.
I expect that I can build a Alexa skill at kind of this.
Okay. Your expectation will be done, but you have to be there till the end of the session. Don't go away. And yeah. Any other expectations? That's also as part of the talk today. Any other expectations? We will talk about technology, not really the architecture of it.
On a high level.
On a high level, yeah. Not really going getting into the details of how they build this voice interaction system. Really not. Any other expectations? Yeah. I'll move on. So in store today, we'll talk about how the evolution has happened to voice, and what are the voice assistants that were available today, and what do they provide, how are they built, and what you can do with these voice assistants actually, and how do you go back and try putting this thinking system in your product or project that you are working on. So that's what we'll see today. So what is the first interaction that we ever did with a computer? Can someone tell me that? Huh? Punch cards. Yes, the first interaction is punch cards. So that's where it all started. That was the first interaction. And then we slowly moved on to command line interface. And then we moved on to graphical user interface. And later something called touch came in. I am not really covering every small interaction that we invented, but at a high level, we are trying to cover that. So this is where we are today. So if you look at the industry or the organization or the entire digital transformation, what we are calling today is still here. So we are saying we are building an Android app or iOS app which works on touch. But someone somewhere thought that voice as an interaction is very useful. So they tried inventing a new form of interaction with computers or devices basically, and that is voice. And now again a question, why voice? Why do you think someone has to think and use voice as an interactive medium? Yeah, because they are too lazy to type and touch. Even a layman can interact with a machine. Basically, how do we communicate? We communicate through voice, right? It is a natural process that we do. So typing, I have to learn typing and I have to understand the keyboard and other stuff. But voice is not like that. So most of us we start speaking from our early days, right? So that's the basic thing. And the second thing is we can type around 120. We can speak about 120 words per minute. But when it comes to typing, we can do it only 40 to 60. So that's something that led to usage of voice as an interaction medium. So, but what are these voice assistants? Can someone tell me what voice assistants are?
These are the devices which capture
They capture our voice, but they do something else. And do. Yeah. So the basic internet definition tells a personal helper that is in your phone, tablet, speaker, or any device which have the capability to hear, which is connected to internet and do some work for you. And remember the personal helper. I will tell you why you have to remember that personal helper. Moving on with the presentation, you will see some interesting things. So these are the voice assistants that were available in the market. When I said market, I'm not really differentiating between India, US and all that, but in general, because Apple HomePod is not available in India right now. We have Alexa and Google and Cortana. But again, since it is an early stage of evolution, all the releases are being made at stages in US and India. So you might get few things in US and you might not get that in India. So that's one thing that we need to keep in mind. But down the line, we'll slowly get it everywhere in the world. So that's the idea.
So one more point, these are the main assistants what we have right now. And actually, Yandex is a Russian Google. We used to say Russian Google. They have their own voice assistants there, and Samsung is already working on Bixby. So that's also one of the versions going to come out, but they are in development right now.
Cool. Moving on. But yeah, some interesting facts. How many of you think like why did Amazon or Google has to come up with a device and then said interact with this device with your voice to use this device or do some action? Why did they do that? How many of you were using Android phones since last 4 years?
And when is the first time you have used voice to search something?
How many times you have used voice to search something? You have your Android phone, that means you already have OK Google in it. It was released in 2008. But how many of us used Android phone and used our voice to search something? How many of you own iPhones here?
Yes,
Did you
the
ever-
first one we started, right?
Did you ever use Siri to do something? So iPhone users might do that, but it is, what did you use Siri for? Asking something on the web or calling someone, right? So yeah. How much percentage of your time you spend using that? Very less, right? So they understood that with the current mode of medium like mobile or laptop, we can't get the users to use voice. So that's where they wanted to build it. And the interesting facts are like there are already 33 million smart speakers that are out with customers. When I speak all of this, they are out for customers or with customers. So 75% of them are Amazon Alexa devices, and the pretty most popular one right now, or the advanced one, I would say, of my experience, is Alexa. And Alexa has got 25,000 plus skills, which were for production and they are published out to the outside industry, to the customers. And Cortana has its base increased to 133 million users. And Google Assistant is available for 225 plus home brands. That means Google Assistant can connect or talk to your home brand. So, and yeah, home brands as in like, we have a demo here. So you can use your Google Assistant to turn off the lights or turn on the lights, or say, put this channel on my TV or something like that.
So recently we had a lot of home automation stuff coming out, right? So there are a lot of brands coming in, Nest, Philips. So some brands are coming up with their own products. So Google is trying to support them and trying to build up their own platform so that it will be available for every home at any point of time. So that is the reason they are putting it open to all the home control brands.
Okay, so the basic funda of this is whatever these people are trying, we will have later in this, discussion later in point of time. What these people are trying is they're not just trying to sell the devices. They're trying to sell voice as an interaction, as a platform. We'll come there how it will happen later point of time with the presentation. But yeah, but what these devices can do or provide to you. Any examples? We will talk about that. Maybe few questions will get automatically answered in the presentation. So we'll talk at the end of the when we are giving break for first half. We'll talk about this. We'll take all the questions later. Like I understand you have worked on it and you have so many other questions, but. Yeah, but you are doing a kind of research, right? At least I get that. But we'll talk about this. There is a lot interesting stuff with Siri as well, which we don't have here, but I can tell you in person. So yeah, guess like, what do you think these devices can provide? You might have seen videos, ads. How many of you seen this thing called Make Google Do It? It's an ad, right? So basically what they can do is, they can play music for you. They can tell the weather forecast. Just that, to listen to music, to ask for weather forecast, you have to pay attention. It's not just that. It's something more than that. You can control your devices at your home. How many of you have heard this buzzing word called IoT? I remember we were doing a talk on IoT. We were building all by ourselves, which a person called Ranganathan was doing in the same space. He's using his voice to turn off all the lights in the office. So at that time we did build all the infrastructure by us, all the bridges, all the you know uh, all the bridges and all the code, everything is written by us. But right now you all don't need to do it. These devices will help you, and we'll see how they help you. Is it done? It's just controlling the devices. No, it is something more than that. How many of you use Uber or Ola here? Uber or Ola? Most of us, right? So you can basically integrate this with your products. You can ask these voice assistants to book a cab for you, to do shopping on behalf of you. So basically, there are two things we need to understand here. One thing is like, how is it integrating with the products, and how is it integrating with the devices at your home and controlling them. So let's see how it started, when it started. Go to Prasad.
So it was started in 1784. It's quite a long time, and so it started with the speech recognition technology. So when we start recognizing the speech, so that once people talk, it can actually translate to text and then send to do some action, right? So whatever you do, it have to translate it to some other language so that it can be asked to the computer so that it can do some action for you, right? So in 1784, it was started, and you can see actually that it started with the guy Wolfgang, and then in 1870, sorry. So in 1952 at Bell Labs, there is some more research happened, and if you see 1952 Bell Labs, so it can actually recognize spoken digit with 90% accuracy. But the problem what they got at that point of time is when the inventor say that word, the accuracy is 90%, and when some else person is doing that, it is 70 to 80%. So there is again another problem with the speech detection, right? So we need So we need some more machine learning to be built into it so that it can actually get the slang, whatever the accent you're talking to, right? So it takes a lot of time to get that point where you can actually understand whoever the person speaks. So if I speak and if you speak, our accents might differ, right? So to get to that point, even the change of accent should know. So it takes this much of time. So in 2006, NSA started using some keyword stuff, so to get what other people are talking from the recorded speech. And then in 2008, Google said that they have already created a voice search. So the problem with the speech recognition is gone. At 2008, we are at a good place where you can actually convert your speech into a text or into any command. But the problem comes up from whenever you say something, you just need to go to the device and say, I'm asking this. So again, there is nothing, right? So if you have a UI, if you have an Android phone, you can actually go to that and do some action. So whenever we are trying to do some, whenever you want to call something, again the same problem comes out. You have to go to the device and then say that, I want this. So this is also not a good medium of talk, right? So whenever you're talking, you should accept. And if we both are talking, one on each other, and then whenever I talk, you have to understand even from some distance, right? So it took a next technology level to talk to that. So the far field voice technology is nothing but whenever user talking from far distance, it should be actually understand whatever the user is talking. So this have I'm taking example is Alexa. So Alexa have around 7 microphone arrays. So if you see the iPhone evolution, so if you know iPhone 3G and iPhone 3GS, we have only one microphone. So whatever you talk and whenever you take some video, the voice will be captured from one microphone. And when it comes to iPhone 4, they increase to 2. And then with the evolution of iPhone 5, they put 3. And recently Microsoft, it's not recent, it's 2 years back. So 2 years back, when Microsoft tried to put a camera of 41 megapixel into a phone, which is Lumia 1020, they have actually given an ad saying that we are putting 3 microphones to get the voice as proper as possible, as clear as possible in videos. So the increase of microphones at any device will increase the clarity level also. So what Alexa comes up with is they have used 7 microphones. So that device is there, right? So at a hexagonal point, every hexagonal point they have around a microphone. There are 6 microphones at each corner, and then at the center there is 1 microphone. So whenever you speak to something, there is a phenomenon called beamforming. How it works is, so when I talk to the device, so there are 6 microphones, right? So the first microphone which is near to me will get the signal first. So the time, at what time it is getting is, the minimum time which it will take is the nearest point to you. So once it gets the nearest point, it switch off all the remaining microphones, or it will cancel the voice which comes from all those microphones, and the latest one or the nearest one to you will get the signal. So by this way you can actually, this is called as beamforming. So it will be listening only from one side. So whenever you talk to Alexa, you can see actually. So if I talk from here, hey Alexa, so it is listening from that side. So some sound might have come from that side. Or if you sound come from this side, it will turn the green color to here. So that is how it works. So they have actually whatever the voice systems we have right now are almost in the same technology. So if they have one audio input, once the audio input comes, they send it to acoustic sensor, which will convert that to electric signal and then to digital signal, and then it will send to the digital processing chip. So this digital processing chip might contain a lot of algorithms. So from there you can actually remove the noise or whatever the disturbance you are coming from. So one basic thing, whenever you are talking to Alexa, it might have talked to something, right? So I have already told some action to it, and it might be already telling something to me. And again I said hi Alexa, which means it have to cancel the noise which it is doing already, and it has to take my input. So for these things, there are a lot of processing happens at the digital processing unit, and then once it converted to speech at a proper point, that speech will be sent to the cloud. So whatever the action you are doing, all the things will be converted at your place. So the devices will do that. It processes all the input what you have given, and then it's sent to the cloud. So that's how it works. And then once the cloud gets it, it talks to another API or another service. So this is how a basic Alexa, Google Home, or something Apple HomePod works for. So whenever user talks, it will start. The action will be started. So all the process I have already told you, right? So that process will happen, and it directly talks to the skill setup what you have. Skills is nothing but you might have used Android phones, right? Android and Apple. Skill is nothing but an application. So if you have an app, you go and open it, right? So I have a Ola app on my phone. I said I open the app and click on the app to see the Ola UI coming up, right? So the same thing you have to tell the assistant. The voice assistant will take the input from you. If I say hi Alexa, open Ola, so it open up the app. So the wake word is the invocation, what we call as invocation. So when it comes to the skill coding part, I'll tell you what's the invocation, how it works. So you have to invoke the app whatever you want. So I can't directly go and say do something, right? I have to call that particular API or the application to start the processing, right? So the third point is that, the second point is that. So the audio streams to the cloud, and then it talks to some skill setup, and then it talks to the external APIs. So for suppose, I have already told you, right? So if you want to open up the Ola skill or Ola app, it have to be deployed somewhere. So you need to talk to that. So once the command you have sent to the cloud actually talk to the backend or the Ola service where it have deployed. So and then the processing comes up. Once the cloud gets the response from there, it will stream to your device. So it is like the same thing. So from the app, whatever you're doing, or from application or the web application, whatever you're doing, the all thing will be done by the cloud. So it will be Alexa or it will be Google Home, the cloud. Understood, right? Do I need to repeat it again or yeah? Thanks. Yeah. Input will go to cloud. So that is the reason we need Wi-Fi all the time. Yeah. No, not really. Sorry? No, not really local process. So even if you ask time, it have to go and fetch the time. But you need a connectivity, right? Ola app will be there, right? But you need the connectivity to the Ola service. So for suppose you have an app, right? You have an app on your phone. So you have app locally on your phone. You can't directly book a cab. Yes. Yeah. So I already told you, right? The speech will be sent to the cloud, and then from there the skill will be called. So there is no local storage on your device. So that is what I'm trying to say.
Right now, how they built it is, so right now, Alexa or Google Home for that matter, I don't know how Siri is, I didn't really get into details of it, but right now these two has to send the voice data set to your cloud. It can be Google Home Cloud or Alexa Cloud, they will send to that, and then that's where they're processing. And if you say I can have a storage and process it, maybe you can, if you want to build a voice assistant, you can do it by yourself, but currently they're not doing that way. I think they have reasons for it. So I can't really talk about because I don't know what the reasons are, but I have some personal opinions on why they are doing that.
Google is ad company, right? Google is ad company, right? So that's the answer.
They need to get the data there and then process it. That's their intention.
Exactly. So
can we answer this question at the end of the session?
Okay. Yeah, it's show time. Yeah, so I can actually ask assistant to play some music.
The microphone is back on.
Okay. Hey Google. Hey Google. Can you play some music?
Sure. Here's some music on Google Play Music.
So the default is Google Music. Alexa. Sorry. Hey Google. Hey Google. Can you play some songs from Savan?
Playing some music on SA-ABN.
So it talks. Exactly. I do. Hey Google. Hey Google. Next song, please. Hey Google. Hey Google. Can you play some Telugu songs?
Okay, playing the Raman on Google Play Music.
Hey Google. Hey Google. Hey Google.
Maybe Google is kind of why. Hey Google.
What's the weather at my home today?
Today in Hyderabad, it's predicted to be 28 degrees Celsius and mostly cloudy. Right now, it's 31 and mostly cloudy.
Hey Google. Hey Google. Do I need an umbrella today at my home?
Yes, it's predicted to rain in Hyderabad today.
Guys, do you have umbrellas? I will go back. What was the question? At home? No. The home location it is. So we have different. I came from Pune, right?
Hey Google. How does my day look like?
Hi, Prasad. It is 7:14 p.m. Today in Megatravoli, it's predicted to be 28 and mostly cloudy. It's currently 30 and mostly cloudy. The best way to get home by car is via Pune, Solapur Road, Solapur, Pune, Hoyer NH65, which will take about 9 hours and 33 minutes in light traffic. Today at 8:30 p.m. you have dinner with Nalinikanth. Following that, today at 11:30 p.m. you have travel home. By the way, remember to give a break. Have a nice day. Here's the latest news.
Basically, that break is for you guys.
At 5:40
Okay, hey Google.
The BBC.
Hey Google.
Hey Google. Can you add an event to my calendar?
What's the title of the event?
Good night.
Sure, when is the event?
12:30.
Sorry, when is the event?
12:30 a.m.
I'm still not sure when your event is. Try something like tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Yeah, tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Okay, when is the event?
Please stop.
Alright, I haven't saved it.
Thank you. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, that's why someone asked why did you choose Alexa over Google Home. These are few reasons why did we.
So, yeah. Yeah, so it's not online in India now. No, actually it's not online in India now.
Yeah,
It's in
there
US.
is
Yeah, exactly.
talking about
So
security.
you can actually put 6 users at a single point of time. So that if I put my account on Google, it can actually recognize my voice and it can link my voice to my account. And if you put your account, it can link your voice with your account. If I say my calendar, it will talk about my calendar. And if you say my calendar, it will talk about your calendar. It's in India. Okay. Not really. I think it's in India. I already set up that. It's India. Yeah. 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 Yeah, really. So if you want to create phone, you can create. But so it is like you're saying about a single home, right? I can have one at bedroom. I can have one at hall, something like that. Okay? So I'm not sure. I think it should be one account because so whatever you say, it should be synced across the accounts, right?
Yeah, in Alexa, how it works is like you have to say you kept a device in your bedroom. You can name the device as something, like bedroom or something, and you can name something like hall or something. Basically, if your meeting rooms, right? You can say meeting room 1, 2, 3, and you can have all the things connected. And you can actually say, Alexa, play something on all the devices. Alexa, play something on meeting 2. Alexa, play something on meeting 2. So that's how it is done. And I understand it's while we are selecting the topic as a GeekNight topic, we were scared because this is very vast. And anything related to what we are speaking right now, we'll take right now. We'll take all the questions after the presentation or in the break. Cool. Cool. So that's with the timer part. Hey Google. Hey Google. Set a timer for 2 minutes.
Alright, 2 minutes. Starting now.
Cool. Let's see what happens after 2 minutes. And reminder, we have already set one and you heard that. So you can do that. So not just that, we'll see something interesting.
The microphone is muted.
Alexa, turn on the light. If you see,
Okay.
you see the light is turned on. We'll explain how we did this. So it can do a lot more, like it can control the entire device. Let's see how it will do. Alexa, put brightness to 50%.
Sorry, what device?
It is intelligent. I didn't tell the device, it is asking what device. It's the light.
Sorry, I didn't find what is intelligent if I did tell the device.
Alexa, put brightness to 50%.
Sorry, what device?
Light.
Okay.
Decrease the brightness. Alexa, change the light color to cold white. Change the colors.
Okay.
Alexa, decrease the brightness to 10%.
Sorry, what device?
Light. Alexa,
Okay.
turn off the light.
Okay.
No, it will not have that context. it will not. Right now, as far as I know, no voice assistant will have.
Have the contextual intelligence. They have something, but not that much.
Yeah. And yeah, Alexa, turn off the light.
Okay.
So we'll let you know how we have made that or how it works. We'll let you know.
We'll do all the demos and then we'll go there. And
yeah.
The question is like, we asked it to turn on the
So it is ringing now after 2 minutes.
Turn off the light. So is it really the command is going to the net or locally it is being processed?
So the light.
Exactly.
So actually, Amazon. Sorry?
You can answer later also if it is.
Yeah, sure, definitely. We'll answer it later. So I can do shopping also. So if I say Alexa, can you order something from Alexa? Sorry. Hey Alexa, can you order something from Amazon?
What would you like to order?
Google Home.
The top search result for Google Home is Amazon Echo. That's the
You got the answer, right?
Powered by Dolby Black. It's 8,999 rupees total including tax. Would you like to buy it?
No.
I also found Echo Dot, voice control music, make comments, get news, weather and more. But it's 4,099 rupees total including tax. Would you like to buy it?
No, not interested.
Would you like to buy it?
No, dude, not interested.
Sorry, I can't tell if you want to make this purchase or not. Please try again.
Yeah, basically, if you want to order something, you need to link it with your Amazon account, and you need to have a default address, and you can order something. It will order also. That's the first game that I was playing with his Alexa device. I ordered so many things, and then he has to go to his Amazon account and cancel.
So it's how the skill made. So if I write about my skill, it's my intention, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what Google tried addressing, right? In the keynote, they told like it will help people to kids to be polite by making them you can't do this kind of stuff. Yeah, these are not completely built, so that's why I said we are in the early stages. No, it will not do it. That's against their what is the marketing policy or strategy. So basically, what I want, I will provide ease access to you. What I don't want, you go take the hardest path and do it. Yeah, we can talk about this thing, but if we are going to the market manipulation, it will be another separate discussion. That's why I was telling this is a very vast topic. We can go wherever we want. Let's not go there. We're talking about like how voice as a platform is gonna evolve, and then how to build an Alexa skill. Right now, it doesn't happen.
So one thing, you can't directly say OTP directly to the device, right? There are problems, privacy concerns. So if you see Amazon Alexa Dot, have you listened about it? Alexa Dot or Alexa Show. It is nothing but device with a screen. So the devices will show a screen also. So there might be some development happening where you can actually enter the OTP once OTP comes. Otherwise, there is another problem that they do. In the app itself, you can actually put a passport. So he said, right, he already ordered something from my account. I have already logged my account right now, so that whenever someone orders something from my account, I have to tell the PIN at the end of the transaction. Even if it is a COD, I have to tell the PIN. So that is a few steps they are taking right now, but not really at that level.
Good. You want to book a cab?
Hey Alexa, can you book your Uber for me? Hey Alexa, can you book your Uber for me?
There is an Uber go 2 minutes away from your Alexa address. Should I order it?
No.
So yeah, basically we can.
Would you like to hear more options?
Yes. Your
The
question.
Uber skill can help you request a ride, check your ride status, or cancel a ride. An Uber Go will be requested by default, but you can ask for a different car type if you'd like. Try saying things like order an XL or where's my ride. What can I do for you?
Nothing. That's it.
There is an Uber Go 2 minutes away from your Alexa address. Should I order it?
No.
Okay. Would you like to hear more options?
No.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. So you can actually book a Ola also. So that is the reason. I think someone have asked the question. Right?
Alexa, can you book a Ola for me?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Hey Alexa, open Ola.
Welcome to Ola. Book a cab to pick you up in just a few minutes. All I need is your pickup location saved as home in your Ola app favorites. You can also track or cancel your ride. What would you like to do?
Did you observe something? When we said, can you book a Uber for me? We said, can you book a Uber for me? The second thing, when we
Which
said,
category do you
can
want
you
to
book an
try
Ola
this
for me?
from?
So
Alexa,
So,
thanks.
you can get a ride estimate only from home to work. Try saying, what is the cost of Lux to work?
So the difference is the way the skill is built. When Uber builds the skill, it is directly on the Alexa and it is open. So you know it can. When I ask like, can you book a Uber for me? It directly takes it. But when I asked it, can you book a Ola for me? It didn't. Why? How do you book Ola from your phone app?
so
It is that, but Alexa has provided, Amazon has provided that way of creating the skill, right? But how do you book an Ola on your phone? What is the first step you do? Open the app, right? That's what you need to do on this device as well. You need to open Ola and then ask Upbeat to build a cab, book a cab for you.
So they opened that platform, voice platform. So give me some voice and I'll take it there. And from cloud, I'll start connecting to your services. So I can actually open my API so that actually Alexa talk to my API. So whenever I write a skill on Alexa, I can actually talk to my open API. So that is how it works. So I open up my API and Alexa talks to that. So it's like mutual understanding. So if I want to use that platform, if I want to use an Android platform, I have to write my skill on the language what they have told, or I have to send the application to their platform, Android Play Store. So the same thing it works. So whenever you want to use that platform, you have to tell them that I want to build this skill and this is my endpoint. Go and test it. If it is working fine and if it is looking good, you can send it to your Play Store or Amazon Skill Store. We say. So skill is nothing but the application. So Google call it as action, Amazon call it as skill.
Cool. So that's one of the points that we want to make today. So if you see the slide, right? So if you have so many things around you, your devices. Every device is running smart, and you have so many products. We are working with so many products by ourselves in the digital industry, right? In the IT industry, we are saying that we are making things digital. So when having said that, voice as a platform is going to change the way it's happening. So that's the entire idea behind these devices, and they want to make a big market out of it, but they want voice as a platform to come in and change the game. So
One more thing, I'll show one more skill, guys. So if I forgot my phone where I have put it already, so if I forget where I put my phone actually on my home, so I can actually ask Google, hey Google, hey Google, hey Google, hey Google, can you ring my phone?
I can help by making your Huawei LLDAL 10 ring on full volume straight away. Would you like me to do that?
Yes.
Alright, your phone should be ringing now.
Yeah.
cool. That's the idea behind that. Like so, account. It's account.
It's an
Your
account.
phone is muted.
And it should be connected to internet, so it can send a link. No, no. It's through Wi-Fi. So it take a call, whatever the account I have. So for that account, if internet is connected, you can actually ring the phone. So I think you can actually do it on your phone also. You can go to the web application and you can say ring my phone.
So how many of you how many of you ever lost an Android phone? You might know this. Like you go there and say ring this, erase the data and all, right? So these were already there. Like
Exactly.
all these things were already there in a web application or in a mobile application. So what these devices are doing is convert it as a voice interaction.
So you're saying that there are nothing, right? Like in an app store, like you put all the apps are on the phone. So before Alexa, we need that.
Right now they are not controlling any. So the question is, Android will have a lot of restrictions. If I have to write an Android app, I need to meet so many things, like so many policies and all this stuff. Otherwise, there is a clear app. So in the same way.
Is that the question?
No, actually the question is, so in my phone I can control whatever apps are installed on my phone.
Exactly.
For Alexa, you have the sort of account control of it.
So it is an application you have. It's a web application. The question is nothing but actually on a phone you have a lot of apps, right? So you want to install some apps, you don't want to install some apps. So he's asking that on Alexa also, is there any procedure or something like that, so that I can only use that only that speech on my Alexa. It is. So they have a web application or an Android app which you can connect to your account. So the account which you have used for logging into that Alexa and the account which you are logging in, then you will open up a web store and from there you can actually enable skills. So for suppose if I want to use Ola, I have to go and I have to enable the skill. But for now, Google Home is not giving that option. So the Google Home, they are doing it on the backend, and for Alexa, they are actually letting you choose what you want to do. No, it's not.
We don't have anything. I don't think. Right.
So actually, he's asking about the store, kind of a store. Do you have any store?
We will talk about the market in a while. Before that,
That answers the question, right? Okay. You can do it. I'll tell you, once we start building a single app, you can actually ask questions. A lot of questions will come up, and I'll try to solve if I'm able to do it.
Cool. So the point that we are trying to make is, so they are building voice as a platform, and all devices, all the products around you, they want to connect it together. So these are few analytics, and I'll add the link to the presentation. You can go and see it. So what it says is like 52% of the people put these voice assistants in their living rooms, and 25% in their bedrooms, and 22% in their kitchen. And what it is trying to tell in the second line is like 62% of the people who own this voice assistant are likely to buy a product online using this voice. So these are some analytics from Google, and interesting thing next slide. So almost almost 70% of the requests that go to Google Assistant are expressed in natural language. So that means I don't need to know the US accent or the UK accent. The natural language that I speak is what these voice assistants are going to take.
So when you search directly on Google, you might use keywords, right? So what they're trying to say is the 70% requests which are coming are the natural language. So people want to talk like they want to talk as a person. So that is what they're trying to say. 70% of people are trying to do that. Which means people are loving that. People are loving the interactions. So they want to talk naturally.
And
exactly. So now there is no voice recognition setup right now in India. It's in US. So that's the same thing. So whenever you want to, at a home, I have a Google Home. So we have 4. Our family have 4 people. So I have my own Gmail, my sister has my own Gmail, my dad, my mom has their own email, right? So whenever they talk, it connects to their account. So the voice recognition plus your mail. So it works that way. So on a laptop, on a phone, you can use multi-user, right? So you can create guest users, or you can use multiple users. So the same thing will happen. Happen here also. It is having profiles.
And one other interesting thing that the analytics says is like 70% of the searches that we do right now, whatever we go on search in Google or Bing or anything, they are gonna be voice by 2020. 75% of the searches that we do right now are gonna be voices by 2020. The expectation is like that many voice assistants will be sold by that time. And so it's not just we talking to Ola or something like that. So we have our Android devices. So Erica is a banking app. What you can do with this, you can actually say, hey Erica, can you send $50 to Prasad? It will go ahead, check if you have $50 in your bank account, and it will send that money to Prasad. You have to do a lot of things on your mobile app right now, but this is already built. Can you guess which bank it is? Bank of America. The Erica is from the last 5 letters. And sorry? Yeah, if you hack account,
Do you have any application to do that? Do you have any application?
Cool. The next slide, very interesting one. I don't think you can read the text on it, but let me be Eva and Prasad will be Luca for now. So it says, I'm not able to see you there, but yeah. It says, you're Luca and I'm Eva, okay? Hey Luca, I noticed you had a few minutes. Can we chat?
Yes, go ahead, Ivan.
Well, you have been buying more junk food recently. You haven't been for a run over a week and you seem so stressed.
I have just been busy at work. Any suggestions?
How about a yoga class at your local sports center? They have space for Tuesday. You are free. I can arrange an introductory session.
Yeah, let's do it.
All sorted and paid for. Would you like to invite anyone? Dave and Sam both enjoy yoga and they look free at that time.
Yeah, can you suggest Nalinikanth?
Cool.
That's it.
I need the last.
No, that's okay. I prefer for them not to see me in the downward dog. Another topic, how are my finances looking?
Yes, you're on track. I shifted some of your savings around you to put a better investment which gives you a better interest rate. And an unexpected charge from the USA which has happened and I have arranged a refund for it.
So, this is a platform which was built by KPIT.
KPMG.
KPMG, sorry.
So KPMG has built this platform and if you see, it's not just voice, right? There is a lot of stuff that's happening at the back end. It is analyzing my data. It knows what am I doing since last 3 weeks. And it knows that I'm getting stressed and I'm eating a lot of junk food. And it is suggesting me to go to a yoga center.
So we can actually just search about Eva by KPMG. So there is a lot of things going on there.
And if you see the last statement, it says that it already shifted my investments to give me a better interest rate. That means it started taking decisions on behalf of me. And it knows if something wrong happens while I'm doing a transaction, it has to go and do the repercussion actions as well for that. So this is where we're going to be. So we'll watch like a couple of videos and then we'll break and then we'll see how to build a skill on Alexa.
In real life, I go to people.
How many of you have watched this video already?
But yeah, let's do it now.
In the real life, I go to the people I trust for advice. I talk to my mom about my teenagers, which is pretty often now. I talk to Joe B about my hair. And in the ambient world, we believe that assistants will work together each and every day to help us.
Thanks, Megan. It's really been great working with you and the rest of the team here at Microsoft with Alexa and Cortana. At Amazon, we believe voice will make customers' lives easier at home, at work, everywhere in between. We share a vision that there'll be many successful intelligent agents working together to provide customers a more helpful experience. Now, we all know it's early days, but I'm very excited to show the progress. So let's do it.
Me too. Okay, you go to your office, and I'm going to go to my house.
Okay.
Now, at my house, we have an Echo in the kitchen. But it's Cortana that manages my schedule and my email. And to get my day started, coffee is very important, and I like milk. But with ravenous teenagers, we are often out. Alexa, add milk to my shopping list.
I've added milk to your shopping list.
Alexa, open Cortana.
Cortana here. How can I help?
How's my day?
I'll take a look. I see 2 events for today. First up, at 5:30 p.m., celebration with Tom at Harvest Vine. And then, at 8 p.m., pick up Maddie from soccer. What can I do for you?
Send an email to Tom Taylor saying, I'll see you tonight.
Sure. I'll email Tom Taylor. I'll see you tonight. Ready to send it?
Yes.
Great. I've sent it. How can I help?
I'm dead.
Very cool.
Later.
I love being able to talk to both Cortana and Alexa on my PC. Let me show you how they help me through my day. Oh, I see I have an email from Megan about dinner tonight at Harvest Vine. Hey Cortana, where is Harvest Vine?
Harvest Vine is about 2 miles away at 2701 East Madison in Seattle.
Better get going. Hey Cortana, open Alexa.
Hi there. This is Alexa. How can I help?
Get me a ride to Harvest Vine.
There is a Newgrass 2 minutes away from your Alexa address. Should I order it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Requesting your ride. This may take a few moments. Would you like to continue?
Yes.
Okay. Your Uber driver, Sarah, is arriving. Look for a Toyota Camry. What's next?
Turn off the lights, please.
What else can I help you with?
What do you think about Cortana?
I like Cortana. We both have experience with light rings, although hers is more of a halo. Is there anything else?
Thanks, that's it. Just a few of the things that Alexa and Cortana help me do throughout my day. Well, Meg, it's really been great to be here with you today. I can't wait to see what customers do.
Yes, we're really excited about this first step in a longer journey as intelligent friends, both the reveal and the end.
So this is what they're trying to do with voice assistants. You see, like the voice assistants themselves are collaborative, and this is another interesting video.
Promise of the assistant. As I said earlier, my vision for our assistant is to help you get things done. It turns out a big part of getting things done is making a phone call. You may want to get an oil change schedule, maybe call a plumber in the middle of the week, or even schedule a haircut appointment. You know, we are working hard to help users through those moments. We want to connect users to businesses in a good way. Businesses actually rely a lot on this, but even in the US, 60% of small businesses don't have an online booking system set up. We think AI can help with this problem. So let's go back to this example. Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google Assistant makes the call seamlessly in the background for you. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
Oh, how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second. Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. You have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Depending on what service to advise what services you're looking for. Just a woman's haircut for now. Okay, we have it 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's your first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks, great. Have a great day. Bye.
That was a real call you just heard. The amazing thing is the assistant can actually understand the nuances of conversation. We've been working on this technology for many years. It's called Google Duplex. It brings together all our investments over the years in natural language understanding, deep learning, text-to-speech. By the way, when we are done, the assistant can give you a confirmation notification saying your appointment has been taken care of. Let me give you another example. Let's say you want to call a restaurant, but maybe it's a small restaurant which is not easily available to book online. The call actually goes a bit differently than expected. So take a listen.
Feel okay to you?
Hi, I'd like to do the typical Wednesday meeting better.
For favorite people?
It's for 4 people.
4 people when tonight?
Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Oh, actually, we need to for like after like 5 people. For people you can come.
How long is the wait usually to be seated?
For when tomorrow or weekday or?
For next Wednesday, the 7th.
Oh no, it's not too busy. You can come for this one, okay?
Oh, I gotcha. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
So it's the actual AI which called a referent to talk about the reservation, right? So they handle it gracefully. So what Sundar Pichai is trying to say is, it handle it gracefully. So you ask a question, right? Saying that why these things are not doing it gracefully. So it's about how you build the skill. So I'll tell you, like it's little late. Like I'll try to let you know how to handle things. We have a code session after this, and we'll let you know. So,
yeah. Basically, what you see there, what Cortana or Alexa together or Google is trying to do is take this voice assistants to the next level, where you build their backend with AI and ML, and then do a lot of things on top of it. But when having said that, we're doing all these things. We have like a couple of questions as well. These devices, if I call Alexa, how is it listening? That means this device should be in active mode all the time. Unless I turn the mic off, it is in active mode. That means these devices are actually listening us all the time. And Alexa has brought few instances where it recorded conversations and it is sent to some random people, random contacts and other stuff. So privacy is not something that is readily built in this. So if you are using these devices, I don't know about your privacy, and you have to take care of all these things. And when it comes to the counterpart of it, how secure are they? So right now we are talking about voice recognitions and other stuff. We don't know. We really don't know how they are going to build this. But Google is trying to say, I'll support up to 6 accounts with the voice recognition system. But what if someone mimics my voice? How does it going to handle? So I don't know what they're coming up with. And the other thing is, it is my Alexa. I have it in my home. But if you call it and talk something, it will be listening. Right? It's not that just it will listen to me. I can't control that. So anyone can interfere between these devices when they are at your home. And yeah. And I don't know about data. Someone asked me, should it go to cloud and do that? I don't know why they are doing that, but the current thing is, what Google says, the device keeps listening in a smaller instances, say 5 seconds or 10 seconds. And if it finds an intent, OK Google or Hey Google, then it sends the data to cloud. Even that OK Google or Hey Google, or after whatever it is, has to be sent to the cloud. But if it don't find any of those things, it will delete the data. It will not even keep in the device is what Google privacy documents or security documents say. But Alexa will send everything to cloud is what their privacy documents say. So we don't know what data they're collecting and how they're using it. So I don't know how secure it is. But if you want to build a voice assistant, or if you want to invent something and provide voice as a platform, can you do it? Initially, we were talking about you need conversion, you need conversion, and you need speech to text conversion, libraries, and to train it, more importantly, you need a lot of voice. I need to tell, right, a lot of different accents and other stuff. How do you get it? Like, you started from a friend. So, open community, Mozilla has come up with something called as voice.mozilla.org, and they have already released a voice dataset for English. So, what they're trying to do is, let's just go to this voice.mozilla.org. What they're trying to do is, they're trying to open source that voice dataset. They are actually crowdsourcing it from people, so you can go there and you can contribute, tell the sentences, and contribute to the voice dataset. And they're calling it as Common Voice. And what Common Voice does is, it will give you the datasets of different voice sets to use in your application if you want to build one. And at the same time, they're doing something called as deep search, which is a speech to text conversion algorithm that is also open on GitHub. If you want to go fork it and try it out, build your own voice assistant or use it in any of your products, it is there. And before we begin, we have Bobby here. So he is one of our representatives from Mozilla. He want to tell something about what Mozilla is trying to do and how we can contribute to it and make things more better and secure.
I think most of the knowledge. Hi, this is Bobby from Mozilla. I work full time in PCS as well. Like all these technologies, like sound very exciting, yes. Yes, very exciting. But the last question Nalini has raised was very disturbing, isn't it? The data which is going to the cloud, we don't know what they're using it for. Probably machine learning, but more than that, there's a question for privacy. Modern day technology has always brought these dilemmas. You know, Mozilla, which is like very privacy minded, has started a project called Common Voice. It's called Common Voice because you know the data collected by Alexa or Google, the voice samples they're collecting are not for all the people. They're for people at Amazon or Google. Okay, so but for smaller players like DuckDuckGo, there's a growing search engine which is competing with Google, or there are smaller players in the business today which are gambling for support, right? So like you or me, we want to build voice machines, right? We want to have better machine learning. We want to build better natural language processing, right? To give this democratic data, Mozilla has come forward with a project called Common Voice. What this Common Voice does is very simple. We'll have volunteers like you and me who read out sentences for Mozilla, and what Mozilla does is it will remove all the PII, personally identifiable information, from the dataset, and it will release in the public domain. Yeah. I didn't get you. Okay, probably, but that doesn't work for all the languages, right? Yes, yes. Yes, but the grammar is a little disturbing because, like, let us take Telugu or how many of you speak Telugu here? You know that like a lot of words are not grammatical at all, and some of are picked up from the latest trends of the songs or something. People pick up words from songs and people pick up words out of nowhere. Yes, we can't generally train machines on all these, right? With whatever you were saying, contextual learning, I guess. Yes, yes.
Yes. So the data sets is always a problem, right? So that is what Mozilla trying to fix.
Yes.
The data sets.
Yeah. So what Mozilla does is it will take sentences and it will record. It will ask for volunteers to record in their native languages. So this open sourcing actually helps a lot of players to get native languages out of this public database, because what Google and Alexa does, we don't know. Even if they open their database, it's all English. Yes, I couldn't see any Telugu or Hindi natural language processing there. But what Mozilla does is it opens all these voice database in or whatever language the volunteers are recording. So we'll be creating text in all the languages, and they'll be recording in their native languages. All these voices are released in public licenses for players like us, and we can utilize it for machine learning. The backend of Mozilla Voice is also machine learning and deep learning. Any queries here? Yeah. Why is that? But the cloud understands it.
So when you say something, so the voice is going to cloud, right? So Amazon is not open sourcing it because they have their own mechanism to do a contextual intelligence, or they will train their own data set with the data you already sent to them. But Mozilla, what they are trying to do is they are asking you for support.
I'll give you an example. Recently in the news, I mean, someone had read, a person was talking to some other person in their office about some goods where there is an Alexa. So they were talking in their own native language, but one disturbing thing was by the evening there was an advertisement on the web page for that particular person for that particular product.
So basically you might be talking in your natural language, but if I say I want to revamp my even if I say to Nigerian partner, I want to change this life, we like change that. Light is a keyword, right? And we're talking about you pitch all those keywords and it's used, and pitch all those keywords and I know we chat with other people. That is still problematic. We can't actually say that.
That article, if you read, was very disturbing actually. He was, the person was actually talking to his colleague about a product which he never searched online, which he never searched anywhere. Be it Google, Amazon, or whatever places, it was a new word out of nowhere, and there was an ad on it on his web page. Yeah, I could send you the link.
Authenticity.
Yes. I get it. It's a repeated.
Okay. Having said that, authenticity, Amazon.
So one thing I want to add here, so it was happening to me also. So we are talking about some medicine in Pune. So my friend is not able to get that medicine. So we are talking, and he has an Android phone, I have an Android phone, and we both are talking about medicine. And we never searched about what is NetMeds. It's a website which gives you medicine. So at the end of the day, when I went home, I got an ad of NetMeds. That's really shocking.
Yeah, and if you see the first one, I've taken this article and Amazon found that Alexa has an I can tell you all the reasons for it. I can tell you this and you can go and read it. Yeah. There were so many, I have just kept 3 on the slide, but privacy don't ask. I can talk hours and hours.
Yeah. So I asked all of you to volunteer for this particular project, help us grow the database and help grow our native languages as well. Thank you.
The recent update is for English they have completed around 100% what they're claiming right now, and for Telugu it is 41%. So please support.
The English data set is out. That's what I see also. Yeah. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you for being here. Okay. When we said the 100%, that 100% is a milestone that Mozilla kept, so that it thinks this 100%. This particular amount of, say, 100% is in hours. These hours of speaking in English is sufficient to train your voices. That's what it's meant. 100%. It's not the 100%. Yeah.
as I told you, the machine learning is the back end of Mudedla, Mudedla voice. So they thought that these new set of voices should be enough to train a machine learning algorithm. So this is why they said they claimed it to be 100%. But anyway, the data set would be expanding. There will be more and more sentences added to the database. And I also invite all of you to, especially from the study, because it's just one. Yes, yes.
So what are the personal identities? How do you do that person?
For example, you have logged in into Mozilla's account. There are accounts in Mozilla as well. So you recorded your voice with Mozilla login. So they remove the login details, your person as a person's credential, and they just keep the voice.
So is there an intelligence system built to remove the apart from login details?
It's a privacy issue. It's a privacy thing. So when you go online and everything is
Yeah, okay. What we'll do is we'll take a break because we are talking about skill as well. So we were talking about how to build a skill. So we'll take a break for 10 minutes. We'll be back at 8:10 and we can talk about these questions in the break.
Thank you. Hey Alexa. Set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah. So there are snacks and.
Yeah, hi. So if you try to start building an Amazon skill, so we'll be talking about how to write a skill now. And if you try writing any skill, it's something like you have a UI. You have a UI. For suppose you have a Ola UI or Ola application. So whenever you try to open the app. You just go and touch on the screen to open up the app, right? So the invocation is nothing but to open the app will say the invocation name. So I say, hi Alexa, open Ola. So the open Ola is the invocation name. So when I say Alexa to open Ola, it will start talking to the Ola. So we have already set up our accounts there. So basically, whenever you try to enable a skill, we told you, right, there is a web app where it actually links your Ola account to the Alexa account. So the Alexa you already have, when you enable the skill, so in the web store, the Alexa skill store, you can see the Ola app. So, okay, it will take some time. So once you open up the app, open up the web store, you can actually search for Ola or Uber or something like that, and then you can enable the skill. It will ask you to enable the skill. Once you enable it, it asks for the account linking. Account linking is nothing but whenever you want to try to book a Ola, it don't work directly, right? It will ask your username and password, or it will ask you to sign up. So the account linking is nothing but you are giving the credentials to the Alexa skill, saying that this is my username and password, and you might have saved some locations at your app, right? So I set my the Ola app, home and office. So if I say Alexa, book a cab from my home to office, so it will take those details from there, whatever the account you have given, and it will start booking a cab. So it works as it is. So whatever the UI is doing for you, the voice also do the same. So you are just connecting your app to the Alexa platform. So that is how it works. So I said, once I open the invocation, once I said open Ola, it will wait for 8 seconds. So it is the default time. So you have to, it will wait till 8 seconds to get a response from you. If you didn't say anything, after that it will stop. So it might say, okay, thank you, goodbye. Or you have to handle it. So whenever the guy is getting a skill, he'll handle it. So if you didn't do any response, or if you are not giving any response, it will stop itself. It will stop gracefully. And then if you give any input, saying that book a ride from home to work. So these are called utterances. Utterances are nothing but how many of the guys work with BDD style frameworks? Have you ever worked with Cucumber, BDD? So in the BDD, you can parameterize methods, right? So in a BDD, you write, do this for me. So there are actions and there are parameters. So you call a method actually to do your work. So whenever you say book a cab from my home to work,
home is one parameter and work is one parameter. Booking a cab is the action. So you will write a method book a cab of two parameters. So this utterance will call that function or it will call that method. So right now I'll be using Node.js to write the skill and I'll show you how to link your intents. And the method I told you, right? The method is, we call it as intent. How to link your intent with your utterances. Utterance is nothing but the words you say. The words you say is the utterance and the method you use is the intent. And the word you ask or the word you say to open up the app is invocation. Invocation, intent and utterances. These three are the things which will help you build a skill. And one more thing, slots. Slots are nothing but it will get parameters. The home and work are the slots. In any skill, the slots are nothing but the parameters you are sending to the intent method. So that is how it works. So I said, book a Ola for me from home to work. It will check for the rides, and if they get any drivers, it will reply to you saying that I have got a rider or a driver which is 2 kilometers from you and which can come to you in 5 minutes. And then if you say yes, it will start booking. And all these things will be streamed to your device back. So you say something to Alexa, and the Alexa, after the noise cancellation, after removing the noise in the background, it will send that whatever the word you have said to the Alexa cloud, and then from there it will talk to the Ola API, because your Ola API is already open for 8 seconds. So for every request you have around 8 seconds of time. So within 8 seconds you have to give a response, otherwise it will stop. Understood? Any questions?
So if I want to write this wrapper, so I'm writing the wrapper.
Like this.
For any service, am I writing a wrapper over the original service, or my original service should be written in a way that can interact with excitement?
Okay, so I have to write an API to talk to my actual service. So on the Alexa, you have to write your own skill, because you have that method is there, right? I told you intent. So that intent should call some method which will do the action. So for that backend, you can actually call your own service you already have. Otherwise, you can create your own function. So it is like one skill going to talk to one API, and that API will call your own API. Otherwise, you can directly from this skill you can talk to your API. So it's both ways you can work. So for now, what I am trying to show is I will try a lambda function. Lambda function is what giving by AWS, where you can directly create a function, and using this intent I told you, right? The intent directly calls that function, and that function will have an endpoint. So for our skill, we'll be giving the endpoint which will do the work for us. So the next slide. Whenever you try to start designing an app, the things what you have to take care of is first thing, establish the purpose and user stories. So how will user interact with your skill? So for suppose again I'll take the same thing. If I say book an Ola from my home, what I missed? If I say book a Ola from my home, destination I missed, right? So the skill should be sufficient to ask back what's the destination. It should not stop. So it is not a good UX, right? So the user experience should be something like that. It should be interactive to you. If you miss some content, it have to talk to you. It have to talk to you back. So that is how it works. And then whenever you try to make your own skill, just sit with your friend. He will be Alexa and you will be the user, and talk with him. All the user stories. What are the user stories you got? And the second thing is write script. Take a blank white paper and start writing scripts. How the user will go. And then the third thing, develop the flow. For suppose you have an UI of 3 screens. So you put home and destination. You selected one driver or Ola Prime. You selected, and in the third screen you set the payment method or something. I'm just telling normally. So you have 3 screens to open up, right? So rather than doing it on 3 screens, you can actually do it in a one step. So the work which can be done by 3 screens or 3 actions, you can directly do it in a single step. So even when you're doing it for 3 times, so there might be 3 API calls happening at your app level. So but in a voice you can directly do one call. So it saves your time, it saves the calls also. So every call makes some cost, right? So it cost cuts also. So again, if you miss something on that, or again you have to come back you have to call the same API back again. So the step says that outline the shortest route to completion. So the same thing I told you, right? The shortest route, get the shortest route first, and in the help section write the shortest route. So that user will be able to understand or use the skill as short as possible. Because it should be as short, it should be simple, right? People love simplicity. So it should be simple. And then outline alternate path and decision trees. So if I miss something, I have to take a decision and call the user again saying that you missed this. So you have to take decision back and you have to go for alternate paths also. So and then what is the system logic behind it? So the system logic you have to build on how to handle the error scenarios. Whatever the errors will come, you have to handle it gracefully. So I might not be able to cover all the scenarios or a good skill, what a good skill means, but I'll try to I'll try to show a basic skill and you can run on top of it. And then there are a lot of things already there in the Amazon website itself, and I'll share the links to you guys. And then once you are ready to build, the first thing you have to take care is you have already put your paths, put your alternative paths, put your shortest paths, whatever you want to do. You have created your user stories, you talk to your friend, you have already practiced everything, and then you start the invocation first. The invocation is nothing but the invocation should be catchy. So like hi Ola or open Ola. So the open, ask, the first words are there, right? Amazon already take a lot of words. So you just need to give your skill name so that whenever you say, it should open up your skill. So the skill name should be unique. So whatever the web application you have or the mobile application you have, if you give the same name, people will be more. It will be more interactive because you're using the same app on the phone, same app on the Alexa also. So it will be useful for the user. It's a what we say parity of features. So you do the same, you put the same name everywhere on every platform, and then identify slots and utterances. Utterances is nothing but, so I told you, right? I talk in some slang or I talk in some slang and you talk in some other accent. It's a basic accent. So I might have my own vocabulary, and if I say to Alexa that tell me a joke, I might say tell me a joke, and someone say provide me a joke. So might be it's about his vocabulary. So you have to cover almost all the vocabulary so that whenever user says something, it should take to that action only. So utterance should be linked to the methods. So I say tell a joke, give me a joke, or provide me a joke. These three utterances should follow the same method. So these utterances you have to insert as many as possible so that you cover everyone. Understood, right?
Utterances you will identify the insert.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. And any questions? You're done. So, so the thing I told you, right? So, imagine your voice interaction. How you talk to your skill or how you talk to your friend. It should be as simple as possible. And the second thing, practice and refine it. So, the user stories, practice and refine it. Give some feedbacks, take some feedbacks, and then try to make it as simple as possible. And then you will start adding a skill. So, we are sorry we are not able to ask you to get your devices, or you can also get hands-on. But I'll try to show up as much as I can. So whenever you try to open up or whenever you try to create a skill, go to developer.alexa.com. Yeah, perfect. So I signed in. So I have already created some skills. Okay, leave it. I will try to create a new skill. So this is from where you start your skill. So what I am trying to do right now is we have some boilerplate for space facts. Space facts is nothing but whenever you call your skill Alexa, tell me a space fact, it will give you some random space facts. Space fact is nothing but some interaction fact about a space. So I put the name as space fact. So, so I'm just, it is not a flash briefing or it is not a smartphone kind of thing, or it is not a video. So I'm just trying to build a custom. I want to do a custom skill for me. So I'm selecting a custom. So the remaining methods you can go home and you can actually access or try to build on your own. So once you start here, it will just give you some video on how you can start doing a skill. So the first thing I told you, right, in the interaction model, these guys call it as interaction model. Whenever you want to try to interact to the Alexa, they call it as an interaction model. So in the interaction model, the first thing what you have to do is you have to create an invocation. So for suppose my skill is space facts, right? So I put name as space facts. So I have given a name as space facts and saved the model. And then one more thing, I started building in US. Let me change that to India. Create new skill is the name which you are giving, and invocation is what user calls. So it might be different, right? Might be. So you want to give some name and you want to call it with some other name. Invocation names, okay, what you already have. So whenever you try to send it for certification, actually you can go to the web application and see is your skill already available or not. Otherwise, you go and you send your skill for certification to Amazon guys, and they test properly. And because it's the initial stage of their skill store, they are trying to check every single skill and every single action what your app can do. So it is like they are doing it properly. So people might get rejections a lot of time, but at the end, if you try it properly, do it properly, your skill will be went into life. So in the web application you can actually see in the alexa.webapp.com, I think. Let me check. Yeah. So someone asked a question, right? Skills. So this is the store you get. So you can see Ola here. So if you click there, you can actually enable the skill or disable the skill. That's how it works. So I have already said the continent to India, and then I have 3 intents by default. So these intents are already coded by Amazon guys to cancel or to help for something or to stop. So if I say stop, it is by default. The Amazon guys already defaultly providing that. So you can actually create your own intent. So I told you, right, you start writing your own intent. Intent is nothing but the method which you want to use when you call the API. So I'll create a get new fact intent. Okay, so okay, yeah. So I said get new fact intent. So intent is nothing but the method which I'm going to call. So I said create a custom intent. So I have to call this method whenever user says some utterance. So user said, tell me a space fact or give me a space fact. Provide a space fact. Right? So whenever you user calls one of the three things, this method will be called, and this method will be given the response to you. Right? So one more thing, I told you, right, there are slots. Slots are nothing but the data you are giving with your intent. So if something like, if I write provide me a Indian space fact. So something like whatever the Indians have did till now. So this Indian is there, right? So this is the slot here. So once I put that, the slot came here. So I can actually put the slot and I can use it as a parameter for this method. When I call this method, I can call with a parameter or without parameter. So this is how it works. So but you don't have that much time to include slots also. So I'll just remove the slot because it's like going very deeper. So let's remove the slot right now. So and then you save the model. Yes. So I told you right here I have selected only English India. So and it is not to all the languages, but only India. And you can see it here in the language settings. you can actually see, I have shown you, right? There are around 5 or 6 English skills data sets available right now. So it is only for English. Not all the languages are supported right now. And yes, building entity is a huge challenge. So that's the reason I am trying to say a basic one so that you can build on top. Yeah? I'll come. So there are a lot of frameworks which are provided by Amazon or which are provided by some other people where you can actually create your own code and start. There is something called as Amazon Skill Kit, so which will provide a lot of methods to you. So that was available in Python, that was available in Java, and in Node.js also. So for now, I'm selecting Node.js, and the Alexa Skill Kit is nothing but providing whatever the actions you want to do. So the intents are there, right? So these intents methods will be provided by the Alexa SDK, and then
just one question. So when you're using the utterances, it will be like Alexa.
So utterance is nothing but you are already entered the skill. The invocation is to enter the skill. Once you enter, it will wait for 8 seconds to get a word from you, right? So you don't need to say Alexa again. So it's like boring, right? To say Alexa, Alexa, Alexa all the time.
So it means like you already said like open the space app
Yeah.
and then after that you.
Yeah. So otherwise, I can directly write something like, if I say open space tag, it will directly tell me. Or I can go and again ask for tell me another fact.
Okay, that will be a default utterance.
Yeah, default utterance, exactly.
So we are taking the telling me a space fact. So all those sequence should be there. Telling me a space fact. If you say space fact, will you take recognize?
I didn't get that. Sorry.
So like you can give it the provide the space fact.
So whatever you want, you can give it. It's just a method.
If we get given the middle of the space fact,
It will work. It will work. So utterances is to call the method. This is just a method and nothing else.
No, if I just say space fact.
Here space tag.
No.
Okay, here. Sorry. So here space tag I can write.
No, without giving space fact, if I directly say space fact, then this method be called.
No, not really. So you haven't given the utterance, right?
so space is that you should call it as tell me a space fact.
So that's what I'm telling. In my accent, I say tell me a space tag, and in your accent, you say give me a space tag. So
Space fact, it is common in all.
okay, you're telling space tag. No, that's not possible.
It's like a subset of my what is.
That's not needed. That's not needed. So you can actually give whatever you want here, and that utterance will call your method. But the basic thing is you should not do that, right?
If any user don't know,
Sorry.
if the user doesn't know the one.
So that is where the help intent comes from. The help intent will tell you. So when I open the Ola app, it told me, right? So that you can put your primary location, you can set some location. So again, when you open the Alexa skill store, it will give you some description about it. Okay, so whenever you open up Android app, it will give you some help menu, right? Something like that. It will give you some help. And
so when we are writing utterances, so one is like manually you think about a lot of that this can be a possibility, or Amazon will Alexa provide you some way to automatically kind of enhance it or.
So whatever we can do, we will do. But they also have did something so that so once you enter your skill, so it has a limitation, right? It is only in your skill only. So there are like you have written 4 intents. So you might have written 4 intents. So in that 4 intents, whatever you say, which will be very near to that intent, it will take that. So once you enter or open, sorry?
You mean utterance?
Yes. So once I enter my skill, I have 4 intents, and each intent have around 3 or 4 utterances. Perfect, right? So once I said open Ola, I am inside Ola only, and I am only limited to 12 intents. So I have 4 intents with 3 utterances each. So I am only linked to only 12 utterances. So whatever you tell, if it is near to that one of the utterance, it will take that and will call that method.
So you are saying if I say give space fact, this will be called.
Yes, exactly.
Then if I say space fact also it will be called, right?
Exactly. If I say tell me something, then also it will be called. So you are giving what user will say. So if user say this, call this method. Clear?
So if I use synonyms or antonyms, something like that, will this be called?
Okay, antonyms are synonyms. So I told you, right, once you enter into your app, it is only limited to your app. If it, as soon as it is what we say, relevant to your intent, it will call. So, but we don't know till how much level they have. So that is what I'm trying to say. Then build the model. Which invocation name must not be empty. I haven't saved the invocation name. Sorry. Space facts. Insert save model. Then save model. Now the model got saved. So right now, what I did is I have told the Alexa, whenever user say this, call this method. So I have to write code for this method. So to code this method, you'll go to aws.amazon.com, where you can actually create an account which will be free for 1 year, and you, for a single month you can actually call 1 lakh request. So whenever user says something, it calls the lambda function. So you are limited till 1 lakh calls per month. So if you open up your skill, you did not need to pay Amazon till 1 lakh calls, because they are giving it for free. And after that you have to pay, because this backend which was provided by Alexa. Or if you directly call your own API, then there is no need. Or if you are talking to your own service, there is no need of paying something to the Amazon. That's it. So the lambda function is nothing but, it was given by Amazon, where you can create. Okay, sorry. So I'll start creating a function now. So the function is nothing but give me a space intent, give me a space fact intent. So I'm creating a function and I'm taking from blueprints. I already have one fact skill which was given by Alexa, some blueprint. I'm taking that and started customizing that. So this will give me some boilerplate code. So I have to give my function name, space fact function. Okay, and then I'm creating an existing role, or taking the same execution role what I have, or you can actually create your existing role whatever you want. So it will give me some boilerplate, and then I'll start creating a function. So once I create the function, so now we have to tell the function what is the trigger for this. So the trigger for this should be the Amazon skill kit. So it is nothing but ASK. So if Amazon skill calls this function, then only talk to this. So trigger point for this function is the Alexa skill kit. So I started giving Alexa skill kit. And one more thing. So Amazon has put a small verification that you have written a function. So once you write the function, it can be used by any number of Alexa skills, right? So you have created an API, and you might use it from web, you might use it from mobile, you might use it from any other thing, right? You can directly go and do a call request from there. So to stop that from using your function from a lot of applications, or to just stop doing people doing that thing, they have called something called skill ID verification. Skill ID verification is nothing but, you have started this skill, right? So this skill might have one ID. So if you want to see the ID, you can actually see the ID. Here, right? You can see this is the ID. So it is copied now, and you can actually give that here, so that this function will be called by that skill only, nothing else. So for now, I'm just disabling it. Just don't want to do anything, and added it. So once I add it, and I used to say, I'll save it. Once I saved, I got the function, and I got some code. So this is the code that was given by the skill fact, this fact. So what I'm just trying to call is, I'm just asking the require Alexa SDK. So this is my requirement, and then we haven't given any app ID, right? So when it asks for the app ID, we have skipped that. So that app ID is not there, so it is undefined. So any app can call this skill now. So under skill name is nothing but space tags. And these are like some constants which I'll let you know how it works. So help message, I told you, right? Amazon did it on its own, that stop message, help message and end message. So it will say this. So whenever you say stop, it say goodbye. So this is the message from where it getting. And then the help message. Again the help message is, you can tell me a space tag or you can exit. So these are the methods which are already created by Amazon. So if you want to change the help message, you can directly change it from here. And then you deploy it there. And
Tell me a space tag it got from the intent.
not intent. So I told you, right? So I have taken from blueprint. From the, when I am trying to create a lambda function, I took from the blueprint. So which is like they have given some boilerplate for like demo purposing and all. So they have did one for demo purpose. That is one I am using, right? So that is the reason it is space tags again. Yeah. So and even they have given, so the skill is given by Amazon only. So I got a data where it says this is a space tag. Aaron Maker is 88 days long. So I can add some more. If I add 10 more, so it will pick up one randomly and it will tell you. So whenever you say open space tag, it will randomly pick up one and it will give it to you. And the next thing, handlers. So this is the handlers are the things given by the Alexa SDK. So once you start handling, so this method is there, right? So whenever you call that, so this method will be called. So for this, I have to give. I'll just show you. So this is this as the endpoint. So to talk to this skill, this is the endpoint. We have to give it to our Alexa skill. So yeah. So Alexa skill this, and it asks for an endpoint also. So where the function sits. So from where I have to call this function. So in the endpoint, you can actually give AWS Lambda error, or I told you, right, you can actually call your own service, HTTPS, or service protocol. To your HTTP protocol you can actually call. So I put as a default region, saved it, then save the endpoint. So the endpoint got saved successfully. So that's what I told you, right? So you can actually put slots there. Space tag. So that is static for now. So if you want to add, you can add, or if you have any other API which can give you some space tag, you can take from there also. How I can go to Google and ask? If I go to Google and ask it to give me a space tag and I can give it back, you can actually call that API, not this one. So for now, you can do it. That's what I'm saying. You can build on top. Yeah, so what the get new fact intent function is doing is, so I told you that this function should be same as what you have given here. So here, this function should be same. So whatever the function you are giving here should be same as that. And then what it is doing right now is, it is taking an array which is taking the data. So the data is getting saved into a fact array, and then it is taking a random value. So if I have an array length of 10, it picks some value from 1 to 10, and then it takes that index. So from 1 to 10, an array index of 1 or something like that. So it will take index, and then there are 3 methods here. So the speech output is nothing but whatever the response, whatever the random value picked up. So that random value will be speech output. You are saying it. So I am saying this dot response dot speak speech output. That I am saying the Alexa skill that go and say this to the user. And the second thing, I told you, right, there are Amazon Alexa Spot and Amazon Show. There are 2 more devices coming up right now which have screens. So if you want to put something on a screen, you can actually put card render. So they are using card UI, and with the card UI you can actually on the screen whatever the response are coming out or whatever the response the Alexa is speaking to you, you can actually show it on the device screen also. So that is where it comes from, card render. So there are two methods. These two methods, what they will do is they'll give the response to the user, and then this dot emit response rate is nothing but I'm saying that once this is done, don't wait for 8 seconds. Just stop the skill because I don't have anything else to do, right? If I want to wait for some more time, and if I wait till user say give me another fact, something like that, I can say ask, and I can give response dot speak or the speech output. So I can do this thing. So I can actually wait till the user come back again and say something else. So I'll give my output that I got only one space tag, and I'll tell you back, and again I'll wait for some 8 seconds to get the response, to get the voice from you again saying that give me another fact. If you didn't do anything, again please stop restarting. So that is how it works. So the help intent is doing the same. The help intent is nothing but is taking speech output from the help message. The help message is nothing but the message you already have here. So it is just speaking that message or rendering on the card. So for all the methods it is the same. So these three methods are given by Amazon on its own, and then this was the skill what you have written. Clear, right? So this is how it works. So if so now what we have done is we have created an intent, and we have created utterances, and we have created a lambda function, and we have given the endpoint of the lambda function to the skill. So whenever you call that utterance, it will talk to that intent, and it will call that intent, which is a method, and then it come back, it get back the response, and it will tell you. Perfect? Clear? Yeah. So I can start building my model. So it is building now. It won't take more time.
So what's happening in the background?
Sorry?
What's happening in the background?
It's building the models. So it have to write a code for you, right? So it have to build the models on if you call which utterance, which method should be called. So it might be some backend project. I'm not sure.
It's just boilerplate code.
It's not boilerplate code. The boilerplate code which you have written in the lambda function, not here. It is a skill. It is your skill.
Okay, it's not.
Okay. So, any questions?
So the endpoint is there. So whenever we utter something, suppose I say that open Ola, it means Ola is the skill.
Yes.
Okay. And book my journey. So booking is the intent.
Intent.
So where the endpoint is coming, is it getting into the device?
Okay, where the endpoint is coming from.
Exactly.
So
is it for everything it will talk to the
cloud.
AWS cloud?
Yes.
And there only it is identifying whether to filter the skill set, whether it is
Yes.
Ola or whether it is other Uber.
Yes.
So accordingly it will do.
Yes.
So nothing is happening in the
device. Nothing is happening in the device. So it don't have any internal memory right now.
So it will always talk to the AWS.
Yes. So if there is voice recognition,
AWS.
So you have written a skill, right, and you are giving it for certification.
Right.
Once they certify, they'll put on the skill store. So on the skill store it is saved. So once you enable the skill, you just might have some JSON or some type of data here, so that this guy has this skill. So if you say this,
Another question maybe. See, the thing is like suppose I say open Ola and book my ticket, something like that. Immediately I say some other thing. Okay, open Uber. So how that concurrent things will be handled?
Yeah. So if you see recent Google I/O, they Sundar Pichai probably told this. So right now, whatever the AIs we have, they are little weak. They are not able to talk to you properly. Or you have sometimes seen it, right? So there might have some problems, or there are some problems already. So what the latest update from the Google Home site, what they're trying to do is, it can actually do 2 actions at a single point of time. So if you give 2 actions, it will take intents from both actions, and it is it is coded that way that it take both and it do whatever it want, or it will do one by one, something like that. So the doubt is clear that so when you open up an UI, so you have two apps, you can do multiple work, right? You can do open this app, open that app. So it might not be possible because there is no UI, right? So you just need, you can't switch directly. So if you want to switch again, you have to save whatever you told till now on that skill. So if I say Ola do something, and if you left out there, if you're not doing anything, for now it is cancelling. It is not saving any data again. So that when you come back, you resume it from there. It is not doing anything. So there is another functionality which is given by Amazon, DynamoDB, from where you can connect user to any database. So once you link your account, Amazon DB also, DynamoDB also have their own ID created for you, and once you come back to the skill again, it will take data from there. So it asks you to resume from there. So if I miss something, whenever I come back, it will take resuming from there. So that also they are providing, but it is about how the users are going to use it. So how many people are knowing about it. So might be that is the point people are missing something.
So it's basically a persistent context.
Yes, persistence, exactly.
Trying to build by yourself other than the services provided.
Yes. Solves the question, right? Yeah. Thanks. So once I build the model and we are good to go now, you can actually test it. I'm not sure this is work. Yeah. So I can actually type something. Open space facts.
Hi there.
Okay. We talk to some other API. I don't know.
Here's your fact. A year on Mercury is just 88 days long.
Yeah. So you got one, right? So now again, if you open up, or you can directly say, "Hey Alexa, open space facts."
Here's your fact. Jupiter has the shortest day of all the planets.
So it's different, right? So it takes randomly and it will give the data to you. So there is one more app which is ecosync.com. .io. So this is one of the idea by some guy. So you actually can sign in from your ID to this, and then you can actually test your skill. So what are the skill you have already done? So there, Alexa is already giving one thing. So if your the mail ID what you have here and the mail ID what you are coding right now, if both are same, you can actually test your skill directly on Alexa. You don't need to go anywhere. So that is how it works. Yep. So you can actually talk. Hi Alexa. Okay, it's not properly. So this is one of the websites where you can actually test your skills. So if you log in from your Amazon ID, it will give you how to test your skill. So that is how it works. Clear, right? So anything to ask or? Yeah, exactly. So Google have their own.
No, just think about that. You still have to use Amazon platform.
Sorry?
For designing this skill, you should use Amazon Alexa for this platform.
Yes.
There is no any other third.
So what will be Alexa device?
Okay, so you can put up your own Raspberry Pi, and you can actually install Alexa there. So they are opening it. They have opened it already. Or if you don't have Alexa, you're saying, right? So if you don't have Alexa, you can test from here, right? ecosync.io. From there you can actually test your skill. You don't need to go and buy an Alexa to do some development. You can test it. Yes, exactly. This is a simulator. So this is the Google one. Actions on Google. So skills on Amazon and actions on Google.